Fucking Tristan holding a puppy.
Hello.
All the red in my face because I've already been drinking.
I gotta walk back to.
You can't sleep up here. You can't sleep up here.
Oh man, I should have brought my alcohol with me. I only have one glass. That's not gonna do
What
it.
the fuck? Are you fucking new? What's wrong with you?
God, I told you. I tried to do like 4 shots before I started just to get this going. Anyway, welcome back to another
I thought
Last
about
Call
doing
podcast.
shots before I started. I was like, well, I'm not an alcoholic.
Yeah, I'm. Once I start calorie counting, that's
That's
all over.
you have a
This time
problem.
Last year you weren't drinking at all, so it was a very slow podcast.
That was a weird week.
That was a dark time in our lives.
Yeah, that didn't last long at all. Whoops.
All right, get out of here, Jack.
Okay.
Take a
Bye, doggy.
Look at that love.
You can't sleep up here. Go on.
I wish my dog loved me that much. She fucking hates me.
That's Jack. He's awesome, but he's also kind of a dick.
I like that we have human names for our pets.
I normally hate that, but for some reason I went with Jack. So we've had a Link, we've had a Zora, and we were kind of like tossing around different like video game names. And then we realized, so Susan had a favorite game when she was like in college, Jack and Daxter on the PlayStation. She played a bunch of those.
Oh, so it's JAKK?
1K, JAK.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah.
And then we also kind of noticed, and the other reason that solidified that was my sister has a dog named Rummy. So now she has a dog named Rummy, and we have a dog named Jack. Hopefully my parents will name their dog Whiskey or Vodka or something like that.
Hey, I'm still pushing for Jameson as our second son's name.
I think it's a fucking rad name. Like when he grows up, like that's a rad, like that's a cool.
I actually like it as a name, but I'm worried about people just being like, your parents are clearly alcoholics.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of explaining to do if you do that to people. Like people are gonna be like, ha ha ha, ha. Oh wait, that's alcohol. You named
Speaking
it.
of bad timing, while I say that, I'm gonna go get the other vodka.
Did we introduce Maddie? I feel like I hogged the intro with my dog.
No, it's okay. The dog is actually more than likely more important.
Welcome back, Maddie. Thank you for joining us again, making this mistake a second time.
Oh, I know. It's been a year since the last time I was here, and it's really weird.
It's really a series of mistakes. That's what we call it.
That's what we get working in Elegant City. That's pretty much what all of our lives are.
But yes, Maddie was on, would you say, over a year ago?
Yeah, it was like a year ago and like 2 weeks or some shit like that.
With that piece of shit Toro.
She was like the first 10 or 20. She was real early.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that. She walked in and saw like lighting and stuff, and I asked about would you rather. She's like, I don't remember any of this.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that
last
was
time I was
prison.
here, we had the couch in the back. You had the chairs up front. It was dark as shit in here. And now it's like professional. It's cool.
It is far from dark in here. I can't see shit.
One of my favorite hobbies is to look at you guys in the studio and try and see everybody keep their eyes away from looking in the lights directly. Like everybody kind of casts their glance away a little bit so they don't get blinded.
I forgot to mention, as much as you can, try to look
Oh yeah, no, I'm watching
look at
TV.
Yeah, it's hard. Like,
Don't worry
hard to
about
get away from that.
Because
But
I'm
don't worry
listening.
about me.
He's over there, so I'm like, oh, Tristan's talking. I gotta see what he's saying, and yeah.
I'm just
for those
over
that
here.
don't know, my computer is still in the same spot, but we have rearranged the room. Camera is haphazardly dragged across the floor, so I have it up on a tripod in front of us, and the computer, which has Tristan's fabulous image on it, is over this way.
Whee!
There he is. So it's a tendency to want to look over to who you're talking to instead of this weird Eye of Sauron or whatever that's in front of us.
Yeah, I can only do so much at once. Like he's talking over there, so I'm talking to him and not over here.
I miss having this like
Oh yeah.
easily visible.
I want to mount like an Eye of Sauron to the top of that thing. Although which end do you put it on? I don't really know. But
I don't know. Let's.
are we doing shots? Can we do shots?
I just did, but yes.
We've been waiting on you, Tristan.
Is it a
Thanks for the invite.
It's a bad sign that I don't know where I put my shot glass.
It's in front of you.
No, that's my other
Oh,
drink.
that's your drink. Excuse
Still
me.
have the bottle.
I'm gonna have to get more plastic vodka.
Oh, don't do that, please. You're a grown up.
All the plastic bottles I always had when I was younger was Burnett's, and that's never a good decision, especially when it's blue and then you puke. It's no.
Yeah, no.
Not a fun time.
You shouldn't drink any kind of vodka that has coloring added. That looks like Windex. Let me drink that.
I drink a lot of Captain, and Captain traditionally for a long time only came. And I buy it by the handle, because that's the only way to do those things. Traditionally, Captain always came in that heavy glass handle, and then maybe I don't know 5 years ago they started coming out with it in plastic bottles.
Really? I didn't know that.
Fucking amazing. It's lighter. It's easier to deal with. Like I buy a plastic anytime I can.
I just like it because I learned the hard way by traveling with like a gallon of Captain that glass doesn't do well when you travel. And so plastic is the way to go.
We all have to learn lessons. To last call?
Yeah.
Cheers.
What are we drinking for? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, who cares?
So, yeah.
So my loving wife
Fantastic.
left me alone with our 2 children and our goddamn dog.
How many are left?
What's that?
The dog.
We know at least the dog is still alive.
Yeah, for now. So,
R.I.P. Jack.
normally when she leaves town, my life just becomes a fucking fast food orgy. It's just, you know, pizza one night, Taco Bell the next. Like, who gives a shit? Like, I'm not cooking for myself. I just fill myself with calories. But like, I've been trying to like watch myself for a couple of weeks now. I've been doing a decent job. So I didn't want to fuck that all up with Susan going out of town. So I'm got to cook my own dinner. So I had to stop by the grocery store on the way home, pick up a couple of things. I saw a steak in the like discount meat aisle, and I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm cooking that. That's my
discount meat is always the way to go.
Hey, I looked at it. I was like, you look delicious for $11.99. I will take you with me.
Considering I already forgot what I said we would call this episode, discount meat is in the running right now.
It ain't easy being cheesy.
Oh, that's right. It ain't easy being cheesy. If anybody wants to comment in the chat bar, I'm 10 feet away from my computer. I'm not going to see it, but
oh shit.
Oh, I forgot to mention we do it live now.
Oh my god.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Oh, surprises. There's no going back now.
Good luck, everybody.
I take my 8-day-old steak and I bring it home, and I make the kids their dinner, waffles, super nutritious, but it keeps them quiet while my wife isn't here.
That's the most dad dinner of all time.
I make them their dinner. They fucking eat it, and then I'm like, tablet time. Go to the living room, watch your tablets, and they do.
Hashtag tablet time. We have a third front runner for the name of the episode.
So I'm like, all right, it's daddy's dinner time. Let's do this. And I'm like, Jamie fucking Oliver now. I'm like, I'm going to cook this steak, and then I'm going to steam some broccoli. And then I watched a YouTube video about making like a pan sauce from your like steak leavings after you sear it, right? Like you cook the steak, and then it's got all those burnt bits left in the pan. You take it out, put some red wine in there. You fucking, boil that shit down. You make this delicious sauce. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking do that. It's gonna be amazing. So I cook my steak. That goes really well.
So when did you order pizza?
It's better than that. So I'm cooking the steak. Then I go to make my pan sauce, and I put the red wine in there, and fucking like basically a small fire starts, and smoke goes everywhere, and then the fucking smoke. And then the smoke detectors go off all over the house. The kids are freaked the fuck out. They abandon tablet time and come running into the kitchen, as well as the dog. So now both children and the dog are huddled around my legs near this like frying pan with this small fire that I've managed to put out. The smoke detectors are going off. I'm like, fuck me. I'm going back to fucking Taco Bell tomorrow. I'm never cooking again.
Now, do you do like I do and balance terrible? I feel like terrible parenting tactics, but also necessary at the same time. So like if I'm at the stove and the kid, so my kid's not quite 2 yet.
Yeah.
And he will get into everything, obviously.
Yep.
Which includes whatever I happen to be cooking at the time.
Yep.
So if I'm like cooking bacon, you know, because that's like 2-3 meals a day, I have to fend off a 1.5-year-old as I'm cooking bacon.
Yep. Like with your foot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So I'm essentially kicking my toddler to keep him away from bacon splatter. And I was like, that's the most American thing I've ever.
You know, speaking of bacon splatter, when I worked in probation, I had this guy come in who was he was there for
this
drug
is the
charges.
best transition ever. I don't even know where we're going, and I love it.
Oh, but it's perfect because it's probation. So, you know, there's nothing but winners that go there.
Hashtag winning.
Splatter. Tell me about it.
And he has 3 priors for drug usage, and he's a total just meth fiend by all means. Looks it, just acts it. Great. And he walks in and he has scabs all over his face, his arms, his chest, like, and we're like, dude, you know, you're here for your piss test. What are you, like, what happened to you? He was like, I was cooking bacon and the grease splattered up on me, and that's why I'm covered in these scabs.
That's the best excuse ever.
And sure enough, he tested positive. So I saw him in court the week after that. But
I really wanted him to pass. Like he seriously had like
he thought it out.
an intense battle with a pan of bacon.
Stone cold sober.
Like it just completely covered him to his hands, to his all the way down. We're like, okay, that must be bacon grease. We totally believe you, 100%. It's great.
Jeez.
So there are 2 postscripts to my Jamie Oliver pan sauce story. So I did manage to burn my hand stirring the pan sauce. So that went really well. The other one is, Mikey, do you have your phone on you?
Yes.
I just sent you a picture message, and I wanted you to see the results of my pan sauce that I made for my.
That sounds very sexual in a very bad way.
Who says it's not? This is a game we play.
Oh my god!
This is a game we play where I text Mike pictures of my dick, and I'm like, I just sent you a picture of pan sauce, and it's my dick.
You know, at some point we're gonna do that now. Like mid podcast, you should be like, like oh, fuck. Is that a dick?
No, it's Sean's picture.
So did you throw the pan away?
Right? Yeah. No, it's still upstairs.
Oh my god! What did you do?
It's still upstairs. It looks exactly like that. I was like, I got done. I was like, fuck it. It's staying.
You just leave that. You're like, listen, Susan, some shit went down. I'm gonna need you to clean that.
And now we need a new pan.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and hold this up, or try to hold it up to the camera.
Yeah, it looks like pan sauce, doesn't it? It's like
yeah, nailed it. Nailed it.
Gross.
Yeah. I mean, first off, you have metal utensils. Is that what kind of pan is that? I can't even tell. There's so much.
Oh, that's like a medium to high end stainless steel copper cord, pretty quality pan. Oh, I wasn't using the spoon to stir it. I was trying to use the spoon to see if I could get it to become something edible at the end, and the answer was
Please
no.
tell me you ate some.
What's that?
Please tell me.
No, I didn't know. I didn't let that come anywhere near my body. Absolutely not.
But you let the 10-day-old steak come near your body.
That 10-day-old steak was fucking delicious.
To be fair, I have eaten dollar store steak.
Oh my god, I don't even eat meat, and that sounds like I feel sick just thinking about it.
We know, Maddie, you only eat cheese. You're the only person I know. You're not like vegan or vegetarian. You only eat cheese.
I'm a dairytarian.
I guess so. I don't think do you even drink milk?
Oh, I love milk.
Oh, okay.
White Russians are my shit.
High five.
Woo! Strong bones and teeth.
It's like we're full of calcium and I don't know, like
fat,
heart disease.
And I'm full of calcium and clogged arteries. It's great.
It's like I'm gonna die when I'm 60, but man, my bones are strong.
I weighed 460 pounds on my 36th birthday, but my teeth are fucking awesome.
I wash myself with a rag on a stick. You know what's sad? No one's gonna know that reference in a few years. God damn it! Fuck you, Maddie. I feel old right now.
Yeah, current events, movie things are not my go-to.
Current events. That's a Simpsons episode from like 20 years ago.
Yeah, like when she, yeah, well, like before she,
God damn it! I'm gonna fucking hang myself.
Like that literally may have aired when she was in diapers. I don't know how old she is, but I think we're in the right ballpark.
So we're about to have a Logan Paul moment where I just fucking hang myself on air.
That's perfectly acceptable.
You want to see a dead body? You're about to.
Fuck yeah! Myself. It's okay if you're the dead body. It's your fucking show.
I'm pretty sure that's still not okay. But I won't care because I'll be dead.
But you know what? It'd go viral. It'd be great for publicity.
Oh, all right. Next week, we're faking that shit.
Give me the login credentials for the YouTube channel before you hang yourself. But Maddie and I will be fucking famous.
Oh, it's going to be great.
And Toro can go fuck himself.
He had his shot.
Missed your chance, you fat piece of shit.
I thought for sure it was going to happen.
We should have just had a reunion tour.
I thought about it. I was going to text him, but then I thought, nah, look, I was a minute and a half late today, which is no shocker because I'm late to literally everything in my life. But
you were a minute and a half late after proclaiming that you would not be late because you only live 5 minutes away.
It turned out to be 12 minutes, and that's what put me behind.
God damn it.
I thought it was right across at like Double T rather than the Wonderful Loafers. So I was like, oh, I'm right there. And it wasn't right there.
So close.
By the way,
yet so far.
Maddie messaged when we're going back and forth to figure this all out. She messages me, what's your address again? And in the bottom bar of the text conversation, it has my full address. And I was like, why is Apple listening this intently?
Oh yeah, no, they know. And I love that shit. Somebody asks you what your address is, I'm like, yep, there it is.
It's super convenient, but holy shit, is that creepy.
It makes me mad though that you said that because my phone, like I've listed my home address as a favorite on my GPS, and every time I go to my favorites, it will not pull it up. I have to type it in every fucking time. I don't know. So
I've been working a day job now for a couple weeks.
You have a day job?
Yeah, it's weird.
Holy shit.
So for a few weeks, and already I got in the car today, and it was like, you are 15 minutes from, and it listed a place that was right next to where I actually work, which happens to be the fucking weed spot in fucking Columbia. Well, there's probably multiple now. So in Maryland, you can get medical marijuana. We haven't gone full California or was it Colorado?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Well, if you're Brandon Collier, we are there already.
Yeah, but if you're Brandon Collier, we're all aliens and the lizard people are coming to get you.
Sweet, let's get him on.
Holy shit, I didn't even think of that.
That would be a fantastic
show. I'm gonna get fucking Brandon Collier and fucking bitch ass Sean.
Oh my god.
So anybody tuning in, I will tell you right now, if you're watching this, you want to watch that episode. If I can make that happen, holy shit.
You know, he would be all over it. He
Absolutely.
would show up here on Monday like, I'm ready to go. I'm staying here until we go on air.
That's what I'm most worried about. Honestly.
We just let him go. Mikey and I just leave.
Yeah, like, you guys do you. Whatever, you guys got this.
You can't leave him to get raped by Sean.
You can't rape the willing.
Yeah, let's one up Logan Paul. Let's show well, that's not funny.
I was like, I don't know where you're going with this.
I was gonna say let's show rape on the air, but that's not like
that's not politically correct, Tristan. Damn.
No, there's like a funny pretend anyway. I'm sorry I walked us down this road.
I have that happen very often where I'm like, do I want to make this a joke? And every time I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to make that joke because I don't give a shit.
The answer is really no. It's just the first part escaped my mouth. And I was like, no.
Can't bring it back.
No. I'm just, man. So I had to make a post recently about racism.
It's hilarious.
Oh, that was interesting. I did want to talk about that.
So, friend of the show, one of my good friends, Stanley Archibald Dixon.
Are you giving him the shout out for the show that I don't think exists anymore?
Oh no, a couple, I don't know, couple weeks from now,
relaunch with season 4.
Can't get right. Got it.
So, fun fact: I put in, I pre-loaded all these in. I said, season 4 of Can't Get Right starts now, and that's when Chance is on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But anyway, so Dixon and I mean, we've been friends for a long time, but all we do is fuck with each other. And anybody that knows me knows that I pretty much use the internet just to troll people. That's all I do. Now, the great thing about Dixon is that he understands that. He'll play along. He doesn't give a shit. Like, it's perfect. So the problem is we say shit to each other that your average person should not say to another human being. Not to mention all the racist undertones that I use because racist jokes are hilarious. The problem is when you cross that line into that next territory where you're like, no, wait, you're actually racist. So I had a problem with a lot of times when I post stuff on social media, I will joke with Dixon and say stuff that's like, stereotypically racist,
Sure.
Dixon bombs are great bombs, and they're a thing.
To be fair, that is super racist.
Yeah.
That you did that.
But it's fucking hilarious because everyone immediately understands.
No, that's the one that is racist. But go ahead.
No. Everyone immediately understands as soon as I explain any part of it.
And to be fair, people order them as Dixon bombs. And he takes that in pride, as much as he likes to say that he hates it. It's a bomb named after him. I mean, he loves it. He does, I think, at least.
No, probably not. He really does hate it, but fuck it, whatever. It's hilarious. So I don't give a shit. No, so it's because of that kind of stuff. I push those boundaries all the time, but it's with my friends. It's with my friends group. That's just what we do. However, I don't agree with the people that take that as an indication that I'm okay with just any racist comment. And that's where I run into problems because people will see my stuff on social media or any of that. And it's just like, oh yeah, these whatever, and start going like full racist. I'm like, all right, look, I'm white as fuck, but you say that shit and I will fucking break your face. And it's terrible because I'm like, look, I understand that I say some really offhanded shit that I probably shouldn't say, but it's among friends and it's hilarious. The jokes are there. That's one thing. But then when somebody takes that as an invitation to just go full on racist, it's a whole different thing.
Yeah, so it's one thing to make a joke, and it's another thing to start agreeing with it.
Yeah, I've had some trouble with that recently, and I actually had to make a post on Facebook and everything, clarifying that it's like, look, that's not an invitation to talk like that.
No, around me at all.
I mean, as much as I joke around my friends like that, I mean, there's been times like Dixon and I were out in Ocean City in Maryland, and there was, so we always joke that I don't dance. Obviously, I'm white as fuck.
Yep.
So Dixon is the dance husband. So Christina likes to dance. She goes out with a dance husband. I get to stand back and just drink because that's what I like to do.
Oh, it's a perfect combination.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
It's fantastic.
Not weird at all.
I trust Dixon. He's a good guy. Like I don't have to worry about anything.
And Christina would break him.
Right. And there's that. But I mean, we were out in Ocean City one time at Secrets, and somebody was like, they were out on the dance floor, and God, it's so hard to tell the story without actually saying all the terrible shit. But it's like they were out on the dance floor, and somebody said N-word lover.
Ooh.
To them. And Christina heard it. My wife heard it. But thankfully, Dixon did not. Then Christina came back and told me about it, and then now I'm pissed. So now you have I'm fucking furious. And then Dixon comes back and he sees that I'm mad and is like, what's going on? And then we tell him. So now it's like you have Dixon and me both mad at Secrets.
Yeah. Nothing good can come from this.
The first mistake was going to Secrets.
Exactly. But that's the point I'm trying to make, is that I'm okay with never going back to Secrets in my life.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to try to drop that racist shit, especially when I'm with one of my good friends, I'll get kicked out of there. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I'll put that motherfucker in a hospital. It doesn't matter.
What, are they going to tape your picture up at the front door? Like, Jesus Christ.
They're really good at that. And
that place is ridiculous. Like, I've been to Secrets, of course, a handful of times, doing what I do. And I go to Ocean City pretty frequently, at least once a year, for promotional stuff and Bike Week and so on and so forth. And of course, we make appearances at places like Secrets and Dead Freddy's and the Lazy Lizard and all that. Secrets is my least favorite place to go because the people that go there just do not give a fuck who you are or where you come from. And it's such a grimy feeling at all times. Like it's never comfortable no matter who you are. Well, even just inside of Secrets, I'm like, oh, you're way too close to me and I smell your body odor.
For those that don't know, Secrets is a beachfront bar, and they have a section of the grounds that are, it's sort of roped off into the water, and there's netting that leads out and sort of encloses the area, but it's inner tubes that are served by servers, and it's a bad idea.
Let's just say it's a really good place to go when you're not 21 and getting in.
Well, it's all of if you took all of a beach town and you filtered out all of the people who are responsible human beings or want to be responsible human beings. You filter out all the young people. You take all the testosterone and you compress it into a place where nobody's wearing a shirt and all the girls are in bikinis and everybody's either trying to fuck somebody or not get fucked. And the tension is immediately high when you walk in the door. Like everybody's ready to fuck or fight, except for the girls who are just want to be left the fuck alone and have a few drinks. Like, oh my God.
There's a lot of them that just want to fuck or fight too.
Oh my God. Yeah. And it just,
that would be Jersey.
And there's a certain percentage of the female population that just wants to watch people fight. You know what I mean? Like, it is like, I've been there a few times with my wife, and it is just the fucking hairs on the back of my neck stand up the moment I walk into that place.
It's gross. I mean, even just being on the sand, like people, to me, it reminds me of like a giant litter box, and I can't stand that thought of being like just walking around in other people's shit. Really, like you don't know what you're gonna find on the ground. I mean, luckily they serve their shit in plastic, which is a lifesaver for a lot of the people that go there. And I mean, like I don't know. It's the quality of people that go there. I mean, you know, nothing against secrets themselves, but the quality of people that show up there.
Nah, fuck secrets.
So, Maddie, you brought up an interesting point, and something that I'm kind of curious about. So, like, you, as part of the way you make a living, you do some, like, I don't know how you describe it. You do promotional work, you do modeling, you do all kinds of stuff, right? Like, you said you go to Bike Week, you go out to Ocean City, you go to various places. How would you describe what it is you do in that part of your life?
Honestly, like you said, it's just pretty much promotional modeling. Excuse me. It's a lot of, as I describe it to people, as horrible as this sounds, it's a lot of me getting paid to just stand there and look pretty. And it's awesome. It's really fucking cool.
Nothing wrong with that.
You get to go to a lot of cool places. You meet a lot of cool people.
It's bartending boiled down to its
bartending without the drinks. I'm literally just standing there like, hey guys, I have a really big smile, and you just paid $20 for a calendar with my picture in it. So I'm all about this. I'll smile for as many pictures as you want. But it's hilarious because I am just not that person.
Hey boys, I'll hang my tits out.
I mean, I tell people all the time, the person that they see, like when I do bikini contests and when I'm in front of the camera or when I'm on stage or whatever the case may be, me and that person are two completely different people. 100%. I am a social weirdo who I don't even know how to describe myself. I'm really just fucking weird. And the person on stage is super confident and very just, I am going to win this shit. And, you know, I've been lucky enough to walk home with a few crowns, but it's a lot of fun. It's cool, but I'm not always that person.
I think
you have a hard time.
I think it's great that we had you on for a second time and you still showed up in a fucking hoodie with
and the same sweatpants I wore last time.
Holy shit. With the slippers on again. I think even in the description I put the fact that you're a makeup artist.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Promotional Model.
I rolled out of bed for this.
Slippers. That's somewhat entirely true. I rolled out of my kitchen table for this because I was sitting at my kitchen table, oddly enough, speaking of what I do for a living, filling out a new pamphlet for Miss Jet Setter 2018. So vote for me on starting February 8th. However, yeah, I was sitting at my kitchen table and was still in my work clothes from today and was like, oh, I'm not going to my work clothes. This is not comfortable. So
whatever. Mike and I just rolled down the stairs, and you know what? You want to know a fucking secret? Motherfucking slippers. Goddamn right.
Secrets out.
I'm not here to judge.
Slippers are the most comfortable thing ever, and if I know Evan wouldn't fire me if I wore them to the bar, I would wear them every shift.
Let's be honest. He probably wouldn't.
I know, but it's Portales now, so I still want to maintain that whole level of decency.
We have a level of decency?
Since we moved somewhat, you know, we're trying. It's a hard mesh between day and night, but we're doing okay.
I have to say, I apologize to the Portales staff for this morning because I went from the Nottingham's employee party straight to Bomb Mondays.
Oh my god! And you're here today?
Yeah, and then here, and So I know that I did not close very well at all. That's one way to put it. I apologize if any Portali staff happen to be watching.
Hey, they're pretty bomb. They take care of us. They help us out a lot.
Yeah, it's my fault. My B.
Hey, talk about your horrible fucking day job, Maddie, where you make people miserable day in and day out for fun.
It's actually quite the transition. I have the job in which I make people super happy by
bikinis
bouncing around on stages
and tits out and that's
awesome.
Great on the Saturday, and then on Monday
by Monday comes around I start taking all of your money and intercepting your taxes, garnishing your wages, and pretty much being the worst person on the face of the earth because you owe money to the state.
Do you take I imagine you take a shit ton of verbal abuse.
Surprisingly, not as much as you'd think.
Really?
I'm actually pretty shocked. I've gotten cussed out a few times. Like, don't get me wrong, but same thing with me being on stage. The person that's on that phone, I'm just like, you can sit here and verbally abuse me as much as you want. I'm still going to kill you with kindness. And a lot of people end the call. They're like, I'm really sorry I said those things to you. And you did a really good job. And you were really nice and helpful. And I'm like, I try. Like, I'd be pissed too if I fucking got a letter in the mail that's like, hey, by the way, this is your first notice, but we're taking all of your taxes. I'd be fucking livid.
Jesus Christ.
So I understand that these people are mad when they call in. So I try to make it as easy going as possible and have a solution for them without them losing their shit. Sometimes they do. I've been called quite a few names.
So you take incoming calls?
Yes. Yeah. I don't make any outgoing calls.
So these people have gotten a letter and they're calling you to discuss the contents of that letter.
They've either gotten a letter or they've gone to the MVA and they can't get services, or they've, we're trying to pay a bill and all of a sudden they're like, oh, you can't pay us anymore because you're in collections. And no one wants to hear that they're in collections. I promise you.
Dude,
I check my social every goddamn day at work to make sure I'm not in there.
Jesus. That is a bold, they have to be so mad. I can't imagine. Like, if I got a letter that I guess maybe most people were probably expecting a letter like that, right? Like, most of these people are just actively destroying their credit.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing, is not everything goes to your credit that's with us. Like, if you have a fine through the MVA or through Easy Pass or something like that, it's not going to affect your credit and it's not going to collect interest. Like,
really? So if I just don't pay the fucking Easy Pass tolls, like, they can't do anything?
Honestly, if you want to hear a secret, if you're not a resident of the state of Maryland and you're not collecting income taxes from the state of Maryland and you just have an Easy Pass, they can't do shit unless we take it to court, and no one wants to go to court. We'll take people to court that live in the state, but if you're out of the state of Maryland, we cannot touch you.
You heard it here.
This is brought to you by the Last Call podcast.
Hashtag life hacks.
Hashtag life hacks. Don't live in Maryland because we will rape you dry.
Oof. Coming in hard.
It's bad. I feel bad for these people. I had a lady on the phone today crying over her financial situation, and all I can say is, I'm really sorry to hear that, but you still owe $3,000, and I can't make that go away.
Wait, how much?
$3,000.
Oh, okay. I thought you said 30,000. I was like, what the fuck did this bitch do?
Well, the crazy thing is, I actually had someone call in yesterday that had strictly Easy Passes, just Easy Passes, and you know that. Yes, I understand that it gets expensive very quickly, but you have you have the amount of the toll and then a $50 citation, and everything that comes to collections acquires 17%. So if you have a toll that was $1.40, by the time it gets to collections, it's $65.52, but it stays that rate. This woman had over $45,000 in Easy Pass toll violations.
Jesus.
879 accounts.
So she's blowing through every Easy Pass she comes across, and it's a $50 ticket on top of.
Right. So Easy Pass will they'll send you the initial ticket where it's just the amount of the toll. So they'll say, hey, you have an Easy Pass, you owe $1.40 or $6 or whatever it is. And then once that goes unpaid after 30 days, they tack on a $50 citation. So now you owe $56 or
so she had a chance to not
for every single one of these. Because then I verified her address when she called in, and I was like, "Is this your current address?" Yeah, but I never got any of these tickets. I said, "Well, this is the address Easy Pass forwarded us." So they were sending their tickets to this address. You had to have gotten them and just said, "You know what? Under the rug, they'll go away." But that doesn't happen because then we take all your money.
I love that people just flat out fucking lie.
Oh, 100% every day. It's hard because I feel bad, but you have those stories where people start getting upset and it's like, oh, something happened to me the other day, or I'm facing financial hardship. I'm like, bitch, so am I. How much money do you think I make working for the state? I am barely paying my rent on my salary, and this is why I work 3 jobs. And you're complaining because you have an Easy Pass ticket. Go fuck yourself.
Who's like, bye, bitch.
I don't have any time for sob stories because I take a lot of calls out throughout the day. And when I have people calling in like, oh, I lost my job a few weeks ago. I'm like, really? Because there's 1,000 other jobs out there that you could have gotten, but you sitting at home collecting unemployment, and now you got to pay it back because you lied.
Oh, shit.
That's my favorite part is unemployment. Whenever I get the unemployment or parole and probation cases, I don't know that money. Well, were you sentenced to whatever in 2016? Well, yeah, but I don't know that. Sure you don't. Okay.
I don't think you know how things work.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of court costs? Because those are a thing, and you do have to pay for those when you're the defendant.
The incredible thing is just that people are amazingly stupid. Just generally speaking, people are stupid.
And think they're amazingly smart.
Oh, my God. Yeah, you're right.
All right. I want to play a game.
Okay.
So I'm going to name 10 movies. I'm going to say the name of the movie, and I want the 2 of you to tell me whether you've ever heard of this movie or not.
So really...
Okay.
Okay. I'm just mostly curious. Call Me by Your Name.
No.
Nope.
Darkest Hour.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
Nope.
Dunkirk.
No.
Yes.
Get Out.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
And I saw it.
Lady Bird.
Mm-mm.
No.
Phantom Thread.
No.
The Post.
No. I don't.
The Shape of Water.
I've heard of it.
Nope. No idea.
3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
That's a long movie title.
Yeah, fuck whoever thought of that. No, I haven't seen
Billboard
that.
itself.
Ladies and gentlemen, those are your 10 Best Picture nominees for 2018.
I knew it. I fucking knew it. Jesus.
I wasn't keeping count, but I'm pretty sure it was less than 5 between the 2 of you.
More than likely.
Yeah.
Maddie, I think, had 2. Mikey, you had maybe like 4-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really like, what are we fucking doing here?
Movies are fucking expensive. I'm not going to the theater to see them.
I mean, if The Rock's not in it, I don't give a shit.
Who even fucking cares?
Is 50 Shades of Grey on there? I'm waiting for that one to come out.
No, soon.
Fuck yourself. Oh, why?
Look, Daniel knows if I don't see that movie on Valentine's Day, I'm leaving his ass.
It's not worth it, Daniel.
It's worth it. He took me last year too.
Gay.
Are you? I've watched however many of those there are with Susan.
Have you really?
There's 2 of them, and it's not a season.
No, I said however many there are of those. I don't know how many. I black out like 30 minutes in and just go to my happy place. But I've seen whatever number there are of those.
Wifey T was like, she heard the hype when the books first came out and was like, these are the most terribly written garbage I've ever seen in my life.
Right, but I like tons of garbage, and so do you.
Not
you have 400 shitty plastic figures behind you.
That is my awesome garbage, and you just shut your mouth.
I mean, I'm just saying you got to embrace your garbage. That particular garbage happens to be about shitty, semi-abusive BDSM relationships.
Yeah, some of us are sexual deviants that can't control ourselves and get
why
being in public for this shit.
That's fucking right. Why is everybody got to fucking judge 50 Shades of Grey? But fucking Ready Player One, every nerd's ready to fucking jerk off all over himself about. But fucking 50 Shades of Grey is a problem.
No, I told you I had that problem with.
I'm not talking about you. You don't like anything.
I don't like anything
except for shitty vinyl figures.
They are fantastic vinyl figures. You got your whore mouth.
Man, don't fucking judge. Jesus.
I judge everybody.
I pretty much my life is based around judging people.
I mean, that's what we have to do as bartenders.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to judge you, and you're not getting served anymore tonight. Or if you tell me to surprise you, you're not getting served at all to begin with.
That's fair.
I just remembered. I don't think I mentioned this last time. Did I explain the story of the lady that got a little too drunk at Nottingham's?
I don't think we got there.
I think I saw a Facebook post about it. I don't think I heard about it.
So there was a woman that was friends with a regular at Notty's that
starts off bad.
had a few drinks, only a few at Notty's with me, but apparently had way more before she got there, because I cut her off, and then at last call we send everybody out, and it's like, if you don't work here, you got to leave, whatever. And some of the staff is inside, and they're like, this girl's gonna fall. Holy shit, she just fell. And there's like a small gap at the front of Nottingham's where it leads into a handicap ramp. So it's sort of a slope.
Yeah, okay.
Like a slip and slide.
Yeah, that for this woman, yes. It did not end well. She face planted onto concrete.
Oh my God.
And proceeded to bleed everywhere.
Oh God.
While her drunk friends tried to help her. And it was a goddamn train wreck. I mean, holy shit.
Yeah.
And then a week later, she's in there.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
If I ever got kicked out of a bar or got so sick or face planted or did anything semi-embarrassing, I would not show my face there again. Like,
I had to take a pitcher of water out there and wash her blood off of the sidewalk.
Oh my God.
It was bad.
Like,
and she came in like nothing ever happened. And the sad thing is, she walked in already tanked again. And I was saying,
did you expect much different?
Well, maybe a little bit.
There's an inkling of hope.
I hate everything, but there's a little bit of hope in me. I kept cracking jokes to her friends that I know.
Oh, jeez.
I was like, they'd order a round of bombs. I was like, hey, nobody's face planting outside, are they? and they would all laugh, and she would just miss it. She wouldn't like, bitch, I'm talking about you.
To begin with, then she smacked her face on pavement. If she remembered anything of that night, she must be like a fucking superwoman or something like that.
It's like, you had to have been there for it, some brief flash of that night. Maybe right before your face hit the fucking sidewalk and you bled all over.
Did she stand up after that happened?
Eventually, after another drunk friend was like, we need to pour water on her and wash the blood off.
Jesus.
It was about 25 degrees outside.
Oh, you should have done it. Should have poured a pitcher of water down the front of her and just
they did.
Over. Oh, God.
I gave them all water before they left. I gave them bottles of water. And the one the amateur drinker of the group, other than the one that had face planted onto the sidewalk, was like, no. Mikey said to put water. I didn't say shit. don't drag me into this. I'm out here because I think somebody just died.
And I was gonna point and laugh real quick.
Probably.
Make sure you were okay. But as soon as we knew you were okay, we were gonna laugh and point at you.
Where was she? Where was she bleeding from?
What's
like her
that?
nose, or where was she bleeding from? Like,
she hit
her head, broke her nose.
It was hairline. It was like side of her head.
Oh, that shit's hard to get out of your hair too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, don't worry. That girl dumped water all over her. It was only below freezing, but I mean, YOLO, right?
So that's a fun question. I am curious about this from both of you. So it's contextual, but how do you go about cutting someone off when they've had too much?
I give them water, and if they're drunk enough to not notice, then they're definitely done. They don't get served anymore.
Oh, so I come up to you and I've had 15 rum and cokes, and I'm like, give me one more. You hand me a water, and I just.
Well, I'll hand you a Coke, obviously. But I mean, like, okay, so for instance, when I was working at the Green Turtle, I had a customer in there with his, well, I didn't have a customer. He was in the dining room. And I had noticed being on service bar that whole night that
you get fucked up in the dining room. That's dedication.
It was football Sunday, which was even worse because like it was packed in there and no one else was being this unruly. But I was working service bar that day and I had just one server's name pop up 1,000 times with shots of Patron on it. And I'm like, I wonder how big this table is because they keep only getting 2 shots, but it could be, you know, oh, we got 2 shots of Patron. Oh, well, you guys have shots of Patron. I want shots of Patron now. So I'm hoping for the best.
Come on. How many people was it?
It wasn't.
Yeah, go figure. It wasn't the best. And I'm standing at the bar.
Was it 2 guys or just one?
It was a guy and his son. And
fucking, that's way more terrible than I wanted it to be.
And the worst part is that the son was freshly 21.
Oh, okay.
But the father was the one that was screaming. The son sat at the table, was totally cordial the whole time. The father got up in the middle of dinner and threw his hands up, was screaming in the dining room like, fuck this game. I can't believe they're losing. This is a bullshit call, ref. And I'm like, I hate football to begin with. And now I'm here with your drunk ass and you're not even my You're not even my problem. And so it came to the point where I heard him get up and scream. And I pulled the server aside and said, how many people are at that table? And she was like, just the guy and his son. I said, okay, so it's been
maybe only then?
Yeah. I was like, okay, so it's been an hour and a half and I've given that and I've poured you specifically 9 rounds of shots tequila, Patron specifically. And she was like, yeah. I said, you didn't think at all to cut either of them off. And she was like, well, no. I said, she's like, I figured if it was a problem, you'd do it. I said, they're not my fuck. I can't see them. They were over the fence of the Green Turtle, the separation between our bar side and cocktail area and our dining room. There's a big fence across of it. And I had no idea.
Saw dollar signs. What's a shot of Patron at Green Turtle? $41?
Just about. Maybe
yeah.
But yeah, it was about $8 or $9 a shot. And this guy was just racking them up and he started screaming. And so she was like, she came back to the bar and was like, he wants another round. I said, bring him in. I'm giving him water. So charge him for the shots, but he's getting water.
Ooh.
Sure enough, my manager heard us having this conversation. She was like, okay, well, I'm going to be the one to serve these and see what's going on with the table. Cause I heard him yell too. Like I'll take care of it. So I poured 2 shots of water. She brought him to the table, gave him to the guys. They took him immediately. And he was like, I need another round. She goes, oh no, you're done, sweetheart. He was like, why the fuck? I'm a paying customer. Why can't I get another round of shots? She said, because my bartender just poured you straight water and you had no idea. There lies your problem. And that's when you know you should probably call an Uber.
Jesus Christ.
When you should know you have a problem is when you have to use a phrase like, bring me another round, I'm a paying customer.
Yes. Yeah, that was always a problem too, especially because their tab, as you mentioned, Patron's not cheap. Just off those shots of Patron and like 3 appetizers and maybe 2 drinks, like 2 actual drinks a piece, their tab was like $250. Tip the server like $10. I was ready to hit the roof. I mean, it wasn't my money, but I felt bad for her because that fucking sucks and that dude's a douchebag. Tip your fucking bartenders and your servers.
Might as well beat him up at that point. That's how I handle a lot of things, though. So,
Mikey, how do you cut him off?
I'm just I will stall initially as much as I can, and then when it comes down to it, I'll just tell people no.
Sure.
But I'll try to ease them into it, like, oh yeah, I'll get that for you, and like maybe pour water and put it in front of them, and walk away, deal with some other shit. If it's to the point that I have to cut you off, you're probably not remembering it anyway, and if you do, you're going to realize that you were in the wrong. So
that's true. You're gonna have one of two reactions, right? You're gonna have the you know what, you're right.
You would think that.
Or you're going to have the, it never goes that way. It's always shitty. It never goes well.
It's almost never
the worst person ever. You're cutting me off? What do you mean you're cutting me off? Well, you're screaming at me right now over a $3 beer, so it's safe to say that you're done.
Yeah. Next step is I hurt you. Like, so, I mean, tread lightly.
I actually had some girl do that to me a few weeks ago at Portales when I was working. She claimed she had paid for her shots when she did not. And I was just lucky that Akil was sitting there. But this girl was so drunk that if you've ever been to Portales, you'll know that behind the bar upstairs, we have a speaker in the corner for music for the TVs, whatever the case may be. And this girl was so hammered drunk that she points at it and goes, "Pull the cameras up, bitch." And I was like, that's not a camera. She was like, it's a camera. You better pull it up. I paid for my shit. And she's like, see, I signed the receipt. And I said, that's the itemized receipt because you didn't give me a card. You didn't give me any cash. I wouldn't have given you this receipt if I had gotten payment. And then, of course, her boyfriend walks up and she's sitting there screaming at me, telling me to check the camera. That's not a camera. And
check the speaker.
Yeah. And luckily Akil's sitting there because I start yelling at her. I said, you have two options, sweetheart. And she was like, what? Excuse me? I said, you can either pay for your tab or you can pay for your tab. And she was not happy with that. Her boyfriend came up behind her and goes, she already paid for it. I said, you weren't even here when she bought the shots, so you don't know that she paid for it. And you're drunk too, so I'm not taking your word for it. And luckily Akil was there and he was able to be like, hey guys, I didn't see her take a payment either, and I haven't been drinking, so you better pay your tab. And sure enough, she paid it, and they left.
I always love that explanation. Like, no, I definitely paid. How many drinks have you had?
Compared to the person who's serving you, especially because I gave you an itemized receipt. I didn't even give her a pen. That was the fucked up part, was that I was like, how did you sign the itemized receipt when I didn't give you a pen? I gave her a checkbook with her receipt in it to say, hey, you bought 3 bombs. Here's your total. And she argued me on it. I'm like, you, again, similar to your wonderful female customer, she showed up tanked. She'd only ordered like maybe 3 rounds of drinks for her and other people. And then by the 3rd drink was arguing with me. I'm like, okay, so you're going to have to pay this and you're going to have to leave because you're screaming at me across the bar and the other customers see this, and that's not good because now I strongly dislike you and you're trying to embarrass me.
Oh, people.
We love them.
Lovely.
A young man in Florida was charged with a DUI after driving through a Bank of America drive-through. The teller noticed that there was somebody sleeping in the drive-through area and that he wouldn't move along. So she sent the manager out to go try and wake him up and get him to move along. When the manager approached the window, the young man woke up, rolled down the window, and attempted to order a burrito.
Nailed it.
The manager then explained to him, you are not at a Taco Bell. You're at a Bank of America. You need to move along. The young man said, fair enough, drove around the front of the bank and fell asleep again when the police stumbled across him.
Oh my God.
He had a different version of events apparently, but they took him to jail where he awaits trial on a $500 bond. That was my favorite story I've come across.
Taco Bell?
I don't understand. I have been very, very drunk. I have never done that sort of thing. I don't understand. I feel like
a man in a tie knocks on your window and you roll down the window. You're like, oh, take a fucking five-layer burrito.
You know what? Speaking of that, I saw something on Facebook today in which I didn't watch the full video, but there was a vigil held for a Taco Bell.
Oh, I sent that to Tora. I was like, oh, I'm sorry for your loss.
Was it burned down or something?
Yeah, there was a Taco Bell that burned down. I was like,
it was like 100+ people went to this vigil. Like they were dressed up and they had candles and everything.
These are the same motherfuckers eating Tide Pods.
Oh my God.
There's no hope for this world.
Smoked a bunch of salvia when they were in high school.
Probably. Speaking of which, I think it's about time for some Would You Rather.
Oh,
hooray!
So, when Maddie was last on the show, we were not doing this. So,
you guys get to see how terrible of a human being I really am.
I hope you're ready.
Oh, we know.
Would you rather jump from a third-story window onto the sidewalk, or have a car drive ever so slowly over your butt as you lay face down on the ground?
The car. 100%. I've had my foot run over pretty slowly before, and if it's anything like that, I would much rather take the car over breaking my legs.
I tend to agree.
Yeah, but I mean, a car slowly over your hips. First of all, the car's got to get up over you. There's a problem there to begin with, right? Like it's going to have to it's going to stall a little bit. Like you ever tried to get over a speed hump? Like you got to give it a little bit of gas. So it's going to stall when it gets there, and then you're going to gas it, and then it's going to get up over top of you. Over your butt, you risk your hips. But if it shatters your femur, your pelvis and shit, that is a nightmare.
All right, so it says car.
Yeah.
That implies a smaller vehicle.
Fine. Take the smallest, lightest vehicle they make. It's still 2,200 pounds. It's still 600 pounds over your fucking ass.
Do we get to choose the car? Is it like, can I do like a smart car or something? Maybe like a motorcycle? Does that count?
Well, smart car does not count.
I would venture to say the lightest car on the market might be 1,800 pounds. A fucking $2 million Lotus, not even a Lotus. $2 million supercar might weigh 1,800 pounds.
You know what? Then I'm going to go with the car still then, because whoever runs me over and shatters my pelvis obviously has the money to cover my medical bills.
I'm just saying, a third story window.
That's 20 feet.
I live on the second story, and that's 20 feet.
Best case scenario.
The second story is 10 feet, right?
I don't know. I forget how tall our ceilings
that can't
are.
Be right. No.
A story is 10 feet, give or take. So the ground is 0. The second story is 10 feet. The third story is 20 feet. It's not going to feel good.
But how far away is the sidewalk? Like, am I jumping out or am I jumping straight down?
How good am I at parkour?
Hardcore parkour.
Parkour.
I think I'm going to take the third story jump.
Oh.
Yeah, now that you remind me that it's the baseline is a little lower.
I'm going to blow out both
might actually go that.
And knees and maybe break my legs, but I fucking feel like getting your femur shattered is life altering and not like a bad year.
It's a little more like you know what to expect.
I'm still gonna go with the car. I just think that would be.
I'm gonna jump out. I'm jumping out that fucking.
All right, good luck. Good luck, Bird Bones, getting run over by a $2 million Koenigsegg.
Your bones were, but her bones are fantastic.
Yeah, she's got great fucking bones.
I have all the dairy in my system at all possible.
She's probably fine no matter what she chooses.
In case of one them before I got here. I'm ready to go.
Would you rather always pick your nose immediately before shaking hands?
Ooh.
What? I don't have a problem with that at all. Whatever.
In front of the other person?
Or constantly have to one hand, including your wrist, down your pants. Wait.
Most people do that anyways. Both of those.
No.
I work in Baltimore. I see both of those every day.
Hold on. Listen again. Always pick your nose immediately before shaking hands, or constantly have to have one hand, including your wrist, down your pants. I'll shake hand. I'll booger shake with anybody. I don't care. I'm not gonna walk around with my hand down my pants all the time.
Yeah, that's a little.
Even if it wasn't super weird, that's really inconvenient.
I'd rather pick my nose and shake hands.
Yeah, I feel that's easy. Does anybody think anything other than that?
Like if the hand down the pants wasn't all the time, that's one thing. But no, if it's picking my nose.
All right.
I think you could go hand down your. I think you could disguise hand down your pants some sort of disability over long enough time frame.
Oh, so you have to pretend to be disabled for the rest of your life.
I'd rather that than
because you have your hand down your pants.
People, I got fucking business to conduct. I got shit I got to do.
Whatever. They will never know that you just picked your nose.
No, they do. That's insinuated in the question. You have to do it immediately before you shake hands with somebody. You don't get to duck around the corner.
Oh, you're correct.
That's insinuated in the question that they're going to see you do it.
Oh, then
either way.
I'm still going.
So you got to grab your balls or whatever.
Well, I mean,
I will still go with that because they cannot shake your hand. They cannot unsee you with your hand wrist deep in your pants.
Yeah, but I could shake their hand with my right hand and put my hand down my left and just be like, I was in a horrible accident. You don't want to see it. That's where it lives.
It was a horrible accident. I grafted my hand to my nuts.
Nobody says you got to grab your nuts all the time. It just said got to be down your pants.
That's what's implied.
Also true. Okay.
Down your underpants. Is there like a?
There's no good answer here.
I go kill myself.
I'd say
would you rather have a small bird crap in your mouth or drink an entire cup of moldy coffee?
What the fuck?
Moldy coffee.
I have bird shit in my mouth.
I'm really torn here.
I'm drinking cinnamon flavored whiskey for fun. How bad can it be?
What coffee? Like, what size cup are we talking? like the measuring amount cup?
I think a coffee cup is it 4 or 6 ounces? 6 ounces, right?
6 ounces.
What's moldy? Like, are we talking like that coffee's fucking green? Are we?
No. So I would say you've left the coffee out for
a few days,
a month, and it's got a layer of mold on top of it.
Oh Jesus!
All right, I guess I have to do that just because I know I can drink that very fast.
Rather than just a fucking little bit of bird shit, you just
either way, I'm fucking up. So both of them kind of suck.
Yeah. This fucking card's awful, by the way.
Yeah, we've had a couple of these.
This is a bad card. This is not fun.
A lot of these are more fun than this.
Not lately. Fuck it. Would you rather slap your spouse in front of your kid?
Now we're getting there.
Yeah. Hey, game on.
That one.
Do this shit.
That one.
Asserting dominance. Goddamn.
Ready?
That one.
Slap your spouse in front of your kid, or slap your kid in front of all his classmates. In front of his classmates.
Christ.
Let me just show you. Daddy's dominant. All right. You're gonna do what Daddy says. Get in fucking line.
I'd probably slap
and all the rest of you kids better listen too. I'll smack the shit out of all you too. I don't give a fuck. I just drank moldy coffee.
That question.
I'm hyped up on Mountain Dew.
I'm all hyped up on Mountain Dew.
Yeah, I'd probably smack the kid.
Question's awful.
You and your empathy.
Look, I don't have kids, so I can say I'd smack the kids all I
want. Be a soulless asshole like I am.
So the kid in front of his class or my wife in front of my kid?
In front of your kid.
Look,
I guess age comes into that, but still.
Yeah, can they remember that I smacked Daddy in the face or no?
I think that's implied. Yeah, I mean, I think it's implied that like you're fucking up your kid by doing that.
And you know what? Honestly, I still might smack Daniel in front of the kid.
Yeah,
he probably deserved it. Like,
I just think it would be It would be fucking hilarious to scare the shit out of a whole classroom full of kids. But honestly, I think spouse is probably the better.
I'm gonna slap Susan, and then I'm gonna go to Connor later, and we'll be like, "Look, Daddy was on a radio show, and there was this card, and I had to pick one."
Would you rather me hit mommy or you? And if you choose mommy, I'm gonna smack the fuck out of you, like I said I would.
Nobody wins.
Let me tell you about the other option.
Daddy's going to jail. Would you rather?
This is my least favorite card we've ever done.
About to get worse.
There's normally at least one like fun one on here.
Well, this one's fun, but it's also awful. Would you rather have to defecate in a public place once a week, or spend the rest of your life with a spouse?
Maddie just rolled her eyes like, yeah, I mean, I fucking...
Like, I do that anyways.
I did that anyway.
And what?
I call that Tuesday.
Sorry, what's number 2?
You shit in my lawn, I'm going to be really pissed. Would you rather have to defecate in a public place once a week, or spend the rest of your life with a spouse that smells like rotten fish?
Oh, I'd poop in public all
I'll
the
shit
time.
in public all day.
No. Well,
I will shit in public.
I'll shit in public.
This is vague.
The only thing I'm worried about is the potential like legal repercussions. Like now I'm a sex offender because I had to shit next to a playground because otherwise my wife smells like fish.
Well, wait, is it like a public place like that, or is it a public place like the office? Because I poop at least once a day at my office.
I take public as in like you're at the office and you shit on Sharon's desk.
Oh, I do that. Yeah,
that's public.
Sharon's kind of a bitch.
Yeah, fuck Sharon. I shit in public. I'll shit in public, and I hate shitting in public. I've worked in the restaurant industry.
Yeah, exactly. You don't shit at work.
I don't. I've worked in the restaurant industry
in front of people.
Yeah, but
let's drop the macho fucking attitude. Like you're just like you're gonna fucking die. Like if you're not shitting behind a closed door at the place where you work, you're not gonna walk out in a public square and drop trow in front of fucking 40 people with smartphones and webcams. Like,
but I'm also not going to be the guy that has that stinky wife.
Nope. Look, when you live with somebody, I'm sure both of you can attest to this at this point, especially with children, because I know even when I'm trying to go to the bathroom, my pets don't leave me alone. But I have had Daniel walk in on me trying to poop so many times that I'm like, you know what? This is a part of it. You know what? The shower's running. You thought I was in there. I get it. You walked in thinking you could pee, but that wasn't the case.
Where the fuck I'm taking the shit?
It literally happened last week. I had turned the shower on to warm it up, and he walked in the bathroom like 5 minutes later, and I was like, "Excuse me." He's like, "The shower's been running for 5 minutes. I thought you were in there." Guess again, homeboy. I'm trying to poop. Get the fuck out.
Shit's going down. Hope you're ready.
Yeah, I don't care. I'll poop in front of somebody. It's happened before.
Yep.
All
Your
right.
move, Tristan.
No, I'm going fucking fish spouse, man. I'll tell you why. So when I was like 21, I got fired from wherever I was working. I don't remember why. GameStop. I threw away $400 in a dumpster.
Oh
I remember that.
Yeah. It was a total accident, but loss prevention certainly didn't believe me when I said that. So I'd gotten fired from GameStop, so I needed a job. So I had a buddy who was working at Famous Dave's in Annapolis, and he got me an interview there. And I remember walking in there the first time, and the smell just fucking hit me like a brick wall. And I'm like, I can't fucking work here every day. Like that barbecue smell is just going to invade my life. I can't deal with it.
I just need to take a quick second to throw this card.
Yeah.
Because that just has to happen. Oh,
so fucking close. Missed. You were like 6 inches out. And the barbecue sauce smell hit me. I'm like, I can't fucking do this every day. This is going to be miserable. It's going to invade my life. I can't deal with it. and they hired me. And sure as shit, 3 months later, I couldn't smell a thing. Even when I walked in there every minute, I could not smell barbecue anymore. So yeah, I'm going to have the guy who has the fish melon spouse, but eventually I'll get used to it.
Yeah, but
and I won't have to shit in front of people every single day. Enjoy your lives, you two.
Oh, fuck you.
That's gross.
Yeah.
I'm shitting everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, have fun.
Anyway.
I'm gonna have a real clean asshole.
You gotta blow that shit out. Hey, you owe shit to Easy Pass? I'm about to
shit on your porch.
I'll enjoy pooping in my bathroom upstairs in my house.
Yeah, you and your fish wife.
Yeah. Enjoy it in the cold when it's 25 degrees and you're trying to fucking pinch one off in town square.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Hey, it didn't say what time. Anyway,
it was only once a week.
This is just a reminder that Would You Rather is a terrible thing. We are running low on cards. If anybody has any suggestions on
terrible card
here. It's about to get real weird.
So we had a sleepover a few weeks ago. The girls.
Yeah, tell me about that.
What?
What?
And we had we played a card game. It was what is it? Never Have I Ever. That is a good one that you have to bring on because that one you'll learn a lot about people that way.
I learn way more than I need to learn about my friends through this.
What I learned about Never Have I Ever is like that's a super fun game when you're like 19, 20, 23, 25. Nobody wants to play Never Have I Ever like post 30.
Wow, thanks, Tristan.
How old are you?
24.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Never Have I Ever. It's tons of fun when you're 24 years old. And then after you've done some shit, because life gets longer and sadder and less exciting, and you just start, trying some stuff. Nobody wants to play when you're 35.
That sad violin music starts playing. You're just like, I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
And then nobody in your mid-30s wants to admit all of the horrible things you've done.
Like using a condom twice. I mean, who's ashamed of that? I'm just
Thanks, Obama. On that note,
go rinse it out. It's so good.
Thank you very much to Maddie for coming back after a year for joining us. And
put it back on. Just untie it. There's no time.
That's still good. 5-second rule.
It's okay. It's worse the second time around. We'll just reuse it.
I'll just suck it out.
Thank you very much for joining us on Last Call Podcast. I'm gonna go fucking throw up.
That's the worst thing I've ever said.
I appreciate all y'all for tuning in. I apologize for this episode.
I regret everything.
We'll see y'all next time on the next Last Call.
Bye, guys. Come to Mac and Cheese Fest.
Yeah, Mac and Cheese Fest.